I'm going to run you through a little bit of a practice task for editing. We're going to edit this list of numbers to make our own phone number. So the first step is to get online and download the numbers from 1 to 0 from this zip file. So you'll just save that and open it up, and you should be able to launch the file in Reaper. Let's just do that. So we'll download it. Go to your downloads folder. Extract the zip file somewhere, because you will need to extract it. And then open up the Reaper file, the .rpp file. And you'll see a few tips pop up in the comments, which you can just say OK and close that. Then you'll hear
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Some numbers from Google Speech, and your task is to split these numbers up and create your own phone number, or you can make up a fake phone number. Essentially, the first step is important. You're going to have to turn off the snap grid, because, for example, if I want to cut here just before this number 3, it won't let me actually click just before it. It's snapping to the beats of the bar. Now, we're not using music, so that's kind of meaningless for us. So we'll certainly disable the snap grid here. Now it's disabled by clicking there, or Alt-S on the keyboard. Then I can also control the zoom level, the horizontal zoom down here, left and right, down the bottom right of the screen, sorry, and the vertical zoom can also be controlled here. So most phone numbers start with a 0, so let's grab this 0. Now I'll try and get really close to the start of the waveform here, and I'll just click before it, hit the S key on my keyboard, and you'll see it splits. And Reaper by default adds a little bit of a fade, a very quick fade. Leave that there, because that actually ensures that there'll be no clicks at the start of it if you don't cut it a 0 crossing. So there's the start of the 0. Let's get the end of it, hit S, and then what I'll do, I want to copy that down to track 2. So what I'll actually do, I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard, and you see the cursor change and add a plus. That means now when I drag it onto track 1, it's actually copied it instead of moving it. If I don't hold Control, it's going to move the 0, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually copy it. So I've got a 0. 4 is normally the next number in Australian mobile phone numbers. So I'll just click before this one, hit S, after it hit S, hold Control, and make sure only one of these is selected, Control drag it down. And we've got now, what I'll do is I'll solo track 2.
0, 4.
Now, that's very quick actually. He says the 4 very quickly after the 0.
0, 4.
Sounds very unnatural.
0, 4.
I'll put it
0, 4.
about there. Let's just start with a 2. Grab a 2 down here, and a 1. Chuck the 1 here. Let's have a listen to the flow.
0, 4, 2, 1.
Slow those ones down a little. Then we normally have a longer gap before the next 3 numbers, then another long gap before the final 3 numbers. So we will just go through continuing to copy, and copy. You might like to just go through initially using the S key on your keyboard and just splitting that just before and after the numbers. Get kind of close, but don't get into the waveform. So you can see there I'm just splitting up these numbers. The number 8 looks interesting. You can see the T on the end of it. If I remove the soloing here,
8.
See the T's by itself. Interesting.
8, 9.
So this is computer generated speech from Google. See, that way I've got the numbers at my beck and call, ready to import. Now let's just quickly say this number, this one, 5, 6, get the 8, 9, and a 0 at the end. and let's have a listen.
0, 1, 4, 2.
Let's try soloing the second track.
0, 4, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 0.
That sounds quite natural, so I will save that, and I can render this now, making sure that I have got the track soloed or the top one muted. Either way, it will have the same effect. And I have to go up to File, Render. I'm going to select an MP3. Make sure I know where it's going to save it by browsing. Double check that's what I want. Check the phone number and hit Render. And you'll notice you can see the 4 digits there, another 3 digits, and that's exactly what I wanted. So I could launch that and it'll play it in my default audio application. In my case, that's Transcribe.
0, 4, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 0.
Cool. Now that's not too bad. It's spaced out quite naturally. I'm quite happy. So I would show that in Explorer, and that is the file I would drag in and submit for assessment, along with a screenshot. So let's talk about the screenshot. This is a pretty perfect view for the screenshot. In fact, you know, if your view looks something like this, not an ideal screenshot to really let me see what you've done. So adjust the horizontal zoom appropriately, and also adjust the vertical zoom. Using down the bottom here, can you see in the top bottom right of the screen is the zoom levels. So once you've got that, you'll probably actually also have the mixer view open, which is up here, mixer. But really I'm not using that, so I would just close that for this particular assignment, and you can get it back later, like view mixer. So yeah, turn off the mixer please. View mixer off, or just click on the X. Okay, so that's a good view. I will press the Windows key on my keyboard and also the print screen button, which makes the screen flash, and then I can go to Pictures, Screenshots, and you'll see the latest file in there is actually a screenshot of my session, and I'll just rename that with my name. So I'd call it Mr. Weber phone number task. And you don't need to say screenshot because the file type is a PNG file. It's obviously a screenshot. I would also make sure that I labeled my MP3 with my name and the task. So there we go. That's it for the task. Good luck.